I was looking through my comment section yesterday and someone asked me if I had forgotten about the alien invasion in November. And my answer to that question is, how could anyone forget about the alien invasion in November? I've been getting prepared. Have you ever seen the movie Signs? Well, I got water bottles and cups of water stashed all around my house just in case that's their weakness. Also, just yesterday, I went to Sam's and I stocked up on toilet paper because whenever there is a crisis in this country, that's the first thing that everyone goes and buys. Okay? Not canned food items, not water. No, everyone immediately goes and buys up all the toilet paper. They buy more toilet paper than a family of behinds could handle. And I mean, literally, they buy enough toilet paper to last you 10 years whenever a hurricane hits in Florida. So that was the first thing I decided to stock up on. So if the aliens come and they decide to probe me, I'm going to be freshly wiped. I don't know about you guys, though, because I'm not going to leave toilet paper on the shelves for anyone else, because when ish hits the fan, I want to be the kingpin of toilet paper. Oh, you're scared about the aliens? Hey, how about you buy this roll of toilet paper for 25 bucks? But in all seriousness, just because I haven't been talking about this every day doesn't mean the story has gone away, because boy, oh boy, the story is still ongoing. And not only are the scientists quadrupling down on these claims that this is some sort of alien ship, but we now have new photos of whatever the object is. And I can tell you, and the experts will tell you, that whatever this thing is, it's emitting this bright light, right? Now, they captured photos on the telescope, so mind you, you can't make out exactly what this object is, but it has a bright light, emitting from this object. And now the scientists are saying that because of the light that is coming out of this object, there's no comet tail. It's not displaying the behavior of a usual comet. So now they're saying that they believe whatever this object is, they think it's nuclear powered. They think it's a nuclear powered spaceship. So no, the story hasn't gone away. It's only gotten more interesting. And the scientists have not backed down on their claims. They're only doubling, tripling, quadrupling down as new evidence comes in. But I'm no scientist, so I can't explain this stuff to you in the way that a scientist can. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this news clip so you can hear from the man that's making these claims himself, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
What if an interstellar object whirling through our solar system is actually a nuclear-powered spacecraft sent by aliens to test how humans respond? That's what a noted astrophysicist believes might be the case, and he says an image from the Hubble telescope backs him up. Most scientists agree that the so-called Three-Eye Atlas is a comet from another solar system. But Harvard scientist Avi Loeb claimed on this show a couple of weeks ago that it could actually be some type of alien technology. Now, that's a controversial opinion all on its own. But he's now going a step further, arguing that the Three-Eye Atlas could be a nuclear-powered alien spacecraft. Loeb says the Hubble picture appears to show the object emitting its own light. The object also appears to lack something that all comets have in common, and that's a tail. So what is this thing exactly? Well, joining us now is Avi Loeb. He's the head of the Galileo Project, director of Harvard University's Institute for Theory and Computation. He's also the best-selling author of the book Extraterrestrial. Great to have you back on the show. So you now say this is not only an alien spaceship, but it's nuclear powered? Why are you saying that?
Well, thanks for having me. First, I should say that if the light that we observe from this object is reflection of sunlight, its size needs to be bigger than Manhattan Island, 20 kilometers or so. And there isn't enough rocky material in interstellar space to deliver a rock of that size earlier than 10,000 years from now. So the question is, what is it? And its orbit, the trajectory that it takes, is aligned with the plane of the planets around the sun to within 5 degrees. That's a chance of 1 in 500. And moreover, the timing
What does that tell you? What does that trajectory tell you?
Well, it indicates that perhaps it was designed by some intelligence.
That something's steering it.
Not necessarily, but the trajectory itself was chosen to be such that this object will pass close to Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. The chance of that happening, the timing of its arrival is perfect for that, with a likelihood of 1 in 20,000. And so I'm just saying we should observe it. It doesn't look like it's a random occurrence. The size, the trajectory, the fact that it comes so close to 3 planets in our solar system, and actually it comes closest to the sun on October 29th, when the Earth would be on the other side of the sun. We won't be able to observe it. I'm analyzing right now the best image we have of it. We don't have any evidence for gas around it in the spectrum that was taken, but we do see some fuzz, some halo of scattered light around it in front of it.
We're looking at the image now. What does that tell you, that halo of light around it?
Right. So usually for comets, you see a cometary tail trailing the objects from behind because it's being pushed by the radiation from the sun. The dust particles are pushed to be behind, to lag behind the object. In this case, what we are seeing is a glow in front of the object. And I'm analyzing first if this is caused by dust. The amount of dust is very little. Over 6 months, the amount of dust that will be ablated from the object to generate this glow is just less than a millimeter thick. So it could be just dirt on a solid surface of such an object. And the question is, what is the nature of this object? Of course, as it gets closer to the sun, we would get a better view of it. And we could use spacecraft like Juno next to Jupiter. I spoke about it with Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. She called me on the phone and I gave her an update about the object, and she encouraged in a formal letter she wrote to the head of NASA, Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation, to encouraging NASA to use Juno, which is next to Jupiter, to come close to 3I Atlas when it will get there on March 16th, 2026.
So Juno could gather some data, take some pictures of this thing?
Yes, but also a camera that is next to Mars, because this object will come very close to Mars as well on October 3rd, 2025, and it will be within a distance of 29 million kilometers from Mars. And there is a 0.5 meter camera that is currently used to watch Mars itself, but I encourage the team that operates it to look at 3I Atlas, and they can get a pixel resolution of 30 kilometers around this object, so we can get a better sense of what the nucleus of this object is.
And super quick, Avi, is there any reason to be concerned about this?
Yeah, you never know what kind of intent it has, and I think we should, in the future, have some international organization that decides how to respond to a visitor to our backyard, because that visitor may enter through the front door.
Avi Loeb, fascinating.
Look, I'm not sure if you guys have seen my previous videos on this topic, so just in case you didn't know, I don't believe that we're getting invaded by aliens in November. I fully expect that November is going to come and nothing is going to happen and this story is kind of going to go away. But because I believe that, I thought that these scientists and these professors would start sinking into the shadows. I thought they would start backing down on their claims the closer we get to November, but no, that's not the case at all. They're only, like I said, quadrupling down on their claims. And more evidence is coming in to back up their claims. And he makes one hell of an argument. But a lot of people will dismiss this as a bunch of nonsense, but I don't think we should do that. That is very dangerous. Because regardless if that's an alien ship or it's a comet or whatever the hell it is, they're pushing this story for a reason. And you need to listen to these people very closely, because often they tell you their plans without telling you their plans directly. Often when they talk, they tell you, they let you know what this is all really about without directly letting you know what it's all really about. And if you caught it at the end there, his suggestion is that the world needs to come together. Every nation needs to come together and form an organization and form a plan to get ready for a possible alien invasion or alien visitors. And what does that sound like? That kind of sounds like the beginnings of a one world government. Oh, we need to create some sort of organization or something where all of these nations come together united against the alien threat? Doesn't that sound like a lot of the conspiracies that we told were conspiracies that are actually playing out in our face these days? You know, there's always been the talk of them trying to establish a one world government, and in order to do so, it's been floated out there for a long time that they would fake an alien invasion or something. So regardless of what happens in November, regardless of what 3i Atlas is, we are watching the beginnings of discussions about, creating this organization of world leaders all working together. And that's very interesting. That's something we should keep our eye on, regardless if you believe in aliens or not, because it will have an effect on your life and my life and everyone's life and the world around us. But for now, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.